of course, our tier list is gonna bring tears. What do you expect? Tears for tears. That's what we're here to do. Piss the world off.
Okay, now I will say this though. There was, like, for the most part, I feel like y'all had it somewhat good.
So first of all, let me just go on record and say that was Adam's list.
Yeah, but you was contributing as well. No. You agreed to some of it.
I agreed with some of it based on his criteria, which I vocally disagreed with. But it's not my list. It's not up to me.
Okay,
this ain't Lush Uno's thing.
Sure.
I would have done the whole thing differently. Matter of fact, me and my brother in Judaism, Josh, just we're going over a good idea that he had. You want to break down your idea, Josh?
I thought Adam's tier list was a very specific agenda to like evaluate how people have done outside of here.
Okay,
right? Like,
yeah, that's good.
I think might be more interesting for the fans and a better conversation if we evaluated every host while they were here and ranked them. Based on their performance here.
So we're talking about.
You will force Adam to make Sharp S tier.
Well, no. And like literally the first thing I said was Sharp would be significantly higher on that list.
Than everybody else, and it wouldn't even be a close call.
That's not true.
I don't know if that's true.
Absolutely.
But
that's not true at all.
No, I don't know if that's true, but he would for sure be a lot higher.
With Sharp while he was there. Sharp in his get it. Sharp talk.
We're not. First of all,
have to evaluate on complete time.
First of all, zip his pants up when you're done.
No,
all right.
Again, Sharp towards the end, y'all maybe have an argument, but Sharp in this totality, like he put up numbers. That probably only suspect
to Flakko.
What? Let me see real quick.
You lucky he didn't throw it at you, bro. You lucky you guys are friends now.
Listen. I'll wipe it off. You feel me, right?
I'll wipe it off.
It's
Let's
cool,
go.
right? No.
Look, bro.
No, but though,
bro, the man did numbers, but he was a one-trick pony.
No, true.
That's a conversation.
One-trick pony.
No,
and then
true.
Once
Quote,
that's like
Flakko.
being in the NBA and you good at one thing, and then once everybody figure out how to stop that one thing, you're like now a G League player.
No, you Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No,
when it stopped working out.
No.
That's an evolution.
15 points a game. His 19th and 20th year.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shit was unstoppable. They never stopped it. He just digressed in age.
That skyhook.
The skyhook was never stopped.
Was different.
It's never stopped. We talking about
that
like
19th and 20th year, he wasn't putting up 30 a year.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about digressing in age. We're talking about nigga when they fully nerfed you on the court.
Yeah.
So you had to go take the bench. That's different than I just got older.
I don't think Sharp
Sharp
was ever fully nerfed. He chose not to do the girl shit no more.
Because that shit stopped working.
He's more like
working. He didn't like the type of reactions that he was getting from it. He was starting to get a kind of like my shit with just being loud and angry. But I mean, that's me, so I don't give a fuck. But people were starting to and correct me if I'm wrong, people were starting to look at him in a certain light. He didn't like it and he wanted to be doing it. He didn't want it to be known as a different one. So he stopped doing it. It stopped working.
Yeah, but when
there's a lot of different levels of my dynamics, church.
But when he has the most points,
I'm a multifaceted church.
Here, but when he put up like the most points, it's kind of hard to say this nigga here ain't significantly higher than everybody else.
This is what I'm saying. He was kind of like, he's not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro.
That shit was nerfed.
No, but he's talking about like the entire career.
But this is why he's not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You gotta realize, downfall matters. How far you fall from grace as your exit matters. A part of if you're talking about your legacy.
It do.
Like a motherfucker.
Well, okay.
That's like Carmelo. That's like Carmelo.
That's
Carmelo
what I'm
was
saying.
the GOAT if he would have stopped in Denver. If that career was over in Denver, or even where did he go right after? The one before the Knicks.
The Knicks.
He was raw on the Knicks, though.
Yeah, he was.
He was raw on the Knicks.
All right, so say he would have stopped at the Knicks and not after, to where he's just on the bench and he doesn't want to take a seat back and all. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then your name is known differently in your legacy when you're done. but he didn't. He kept going and he kept being like the fucking 10th man on the bench to the point
To
where
add
he
more to
didn't get
legacy.
drafted.
No,
But you have no points to it.
No, it
but
don't.
that's the thing, though.
It lowers your legacy because you didn't know how to maneuver with the times. You didn't know how to turn in to the third best option where you're no longer the first. He didn't know how to do that, and neither did he.
No, I feel like, okay, for example, right? It felt like Sharp was aging out, but still, the totality of his career is still better than everybody else.
But here's the thing that you guys are overemphasizing.
What?
He can't be Kareem or anybody like that. He can't even be Carmelo because he didn't have that long of a run, bro.
Facts.
He had like a 8-month run of like being unfuckwittable.
He still has the most views than anybody else in the history within that 8 months.
Correct. That run right there, goated.
So if you're
goated,
5 years,
goated run, but then afterwards, a stiff decline.
But you also have to evaluate, like you do in baseball, the era. When you're looking at these numbers.
Sure.
Pandemic era numbers.
Sure, but if you're 5 years here, don't have more views than him in 8 months, then he's the GOAT.
He's arguably like
no, you're ignoring the era and what the climate was at that point in time in views.
And nobody else was doing 5 million, 10 million views.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Views are not the only metric. Like they're not.
Numbers aren't the only thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
numbers are not the only thing.
He did his list. Adam did his list.
No. Here-wise, ask Adam if the views ain't everything.
I mean, sure. We can ask him.
Ask Josh if the views. Josh, come on, bro.
Monetization matters.
But, wait, pause.
It's not just...
So Blueface and Krishan wasn't monetized?
Was that a solo interview he did?
No.
That's him and Gina.
No, it was Sharp interview, and Sharp said that he brought on Gina
No, Gina told me, no, it was supposed to be Gina and T-Rail. T-Rail backed out.
Oh,
and
Sharp lied?
Sharp, yes.
Oh, damn, Sharp.
Like, I was there for all this shit. We're not letting
Church,
him lie.
come on, Church.
No, I've been said that.
So the number one ammo you were about to use just got diffused. Got diffused.
That was Gina's interview, and it was supposed to be with T-Rail.
That's not Sharp's like most viewed. Like
that's one of them.
But that's like probably like top 10, brother.
Top 5.
Top 5. Maybe top 3.
Top 3.
Listen, bro.
Maybe the Blue Jasmine, the Kelpie one, obviously up there too. And you know what I'm saying,
bro? Listen, no, but okay, but past that though, let's talk about y'all actual list though.
Yeah. Adam's actual list that I helped facilitate.
Y'all was.
I need more napkins.
Yo, right? Listen, y'all was dishonest with the Gina conversation.
Okay, let's talk about
y'all
that.
Y'all put up YouTube views for a radio personality.
First of all,
that's kind of like that's extremely dishonest.
She has some good YouTube.
First of all,
but her value is
Gina was
the radio number.
But Gina was ranked pretty highly though.
No, hell no.
Like I think she was a B or like she was.
Y'all ranked her C.
Well,
that's pretty generous. Did you see that whole list?
Yeah,
that's pretty high up there.
That shit too.
I mean, first of all, I do not co-sign that list. However, using the metrics that Adam predetermined,
she has a nationally syndicated radio show.
Yeah, no, and that deserves props, and is also. But
it don't deserve props. That's the goal.
But also it's difficult to gauge the overall success of that. So you know,
nationally syndicated radio show. It's a success. Meaning this, right?
I agree.
Right?
I think I said that she should have been a B. At least I did say that.
Here, right. So saying, yo, I don't know how successful it is, it's like saying, hey, I don't know how successful a podcast who's top 10 on a Spotify charts is. That right there is the metric.
No, but here's the thing. Yeah. Your goal is reaching the major leagues if you're a baseball player, right?
Nationally syndicated is major leagues.
Correct. But then when you're in the major leagues, your goal is to be a starter. And then when you're a starter, your goal is to be an all-star. Then when you're an all-star, your goal is to fucking win a World Series. Then when you win the World Series, your goal is to win an MVP. There's always going to be another accolade that you're trying to achieve. I grew up in a house, right? Where my dad was making movies. Okay. You would think that's the goal. That's the highest level. You making movies for Paramount. You making movies for MGM. You on the highest echelon of filmmaking. But then it's, damn, what's your box office going to be? Damn, you didn't get top 5 in the box office on your opening week. You're trash. So I'm not saying this about Gina. What I'm saying is success is not just getting on the platform. What you do when you're there and the subsequent accolades you achieve. That's the real metric.
But